The story begins with a girl named Lena Carter, a quiet 16-year-old who had just moved into an old wooden house with her mother. The house stood alone, far from the town, surrounded by tall dry trees that looked like thin fingers reaching toward the sky. From the outside it appeared harmless, tired, maybe even peaceful, but inside something felt strangely alive. The narrator explains that the first thing Lena noticed was the mirrors. Every mirror in the house, the bathroom, the hallway, the bedroom closet door, all of them were fogged from the inside. It wasn't steam. It wasn't dust. It looked like someone had breathed on the glass and never wiped it off. Her mother said, "Old house, old mirrors," and continued unpacking. But Lena kept looking at them, because she had the strange feeling the fog wasn't from this side. For the first few days nothing happened. The house stayed quiet, too quiet. The floor creaked even when nobody walked. The air felt cold even when the windows were shut. And the hall mirror always seemed to be a little tilted, as if something behind it was pushing forward. One rainy night, the electricity flickered again and again. Lena lit a candle and walked toward the bathroom to brush her teeth. The hallway was dark except for the dim golden light from the candle. As she passed the large wall mirror, she didn't look directly at it. She didn't want to. She didn't know why. But as she lifted the candle, something moved in the mirror. A slow shadow. A small smile. Something that felt wrong. Lena stopped walking. Her heart froze. She tried to breathe quietly as she slowly turned her head toward the mirror. Her reflection was standing there, but the candle flame didn't match. The reflection's candle burned lower. Its shoulders were slightly slouched. Its head was tilted just a little too much. But the worst part, her reflection was smiling. Lena wasn't. Her lips were still, cold, frozen in fear. But in the mirror, her reflection's mouth stretched into a slow, unnatural grin. Wider. And wider. As if the face was excited to see her. The smile kept growing. Lena felt her throat tighten. She lifted the candle higher. The reflection did not. Then the reflection raised its hand, slow, shaky like a puppet, and placed its palm against the inside of the mirror. Fog bloomed around its handprint, as if it was breathing heavily on the glass from the other side. The narrator explains that Lena finally took a step back, dropping the toothbrush in panic. The reflection stayed in place, its hand still pressed on the fogged surface. And then it tapped. Once. Twice. 3 soft taps, like fingers asking to be let out. Lena screamed and ran into her room, slamming the door. She covered all mirrors she could find with towels, blankets, clothes, anything. But one mirror was built into the closet door. She couldn't remove it. That night she couldn't sleep. Every few minutes she felt someone watching her. Every few minutes she heard the faintest sound. Tap, tap, tap. Coming from inside the closet. Her mother heard nothing. She said Lena was imagining it. Rain with shifting old house sounds. But Lena knew what she saw. And the next morning proved she wasn't imagining anything. When she opened her bedroom door, the hallway mirror, the one she had avoided, had a fresh handprint on it. But it wasn't her hand size anymore. It had grown. Larger. Longer fingers. Sharp fingertips. Like something was stretching, shaping, preparing. Later that day, Lena stood in front of the bathroom mirror, forcing herself not to look up. She washed her face quickly, trying to keep her eyes on the sink. But when she lifted her head just a little, she saw it. Her reflection wasn't copying her. It was leaning forward, closer to the glass, fog forming around its face as it breathed heavily. But Lena was standing perfectly still. Then, the reflection opened its mouth wider and wider, until the corners of its lips almost touched the sides of its cheeks. It whispered something. Lena couldn't hear it, but she saw the shape of the word. Almost. She ran again. The narrator ends part 1 by revealing the true mystery Lena still didn't know. Those mirrors weren't mirrors. Not really. They were windows. And something on the other side had already noticed her. And it was getting closer every night. The next morning, Lena woke up with a strange heaviness in her chest, as if something had been sitting on her while she slept. She didn't remember dreaming, but she did remember breathing that wasn't hers echoing inside the room. Slow. Wet. Too close. The narrator explains that the sunlight didn't make the room feel safer. Not even a little. Lena walked to the bathroom with her head down, trying to avoid looking into any mirrors. She kept her eyes on the sink, the tiles, the floor. A thin line of cold air brushed her ankle. The kind of cold that didn't come from windows. When she finally lifted her face to splash water, her eyes, by accident, moved up an inch. Just enough to see the fog forming on the mirror. But she wasn't breathing on it. The fog spread slowly, like invisible lungs exhaling from the other side. Then something dragged through it, leaving finger streaks. One line. 2, 3, 4. Like someone was drawing its fingers down the inside surface. Lena froze. She didn't blink. She didn't move. She watched the marks form even though her hands were at her sides. Then a fifth finger appeared. But it didn't move downward. It tapped. A light, delicate tap, right where her reflection's forehead should be. She backed away slowly, her heart pounding against her ribs. She closed the bathroom door and leaned against the wall, breathing fast. Her mother walked by. "Are you okay?" Lena nodded even though she wasn't okay at all. She tried to avoid the mirrors for the rest of the day, but that didn't help. Because the reflection didn't stay in the mirrors anymore. It started showing up in places it shouldn't be. That afternoon, she sat on her bed doing homework, her hair falling over her shoulder. She kept her closet door shut tight. The built-in mirror made her feel sick inside. The room was quiet except for the scratching of her pencil on paper. Then she noticed something from the corner of her eye. A shadow. It moved across the closet door too slow, too smooth. Shadows don't move without someone walking. Shadows don't lift their heads. But this one did. It rose like something standing up behind the mirror, or inside it. Lena kept her head down, but her eyes lifted just a tiny bit. The closet mirror was glowing faintly. Fog spread on the inside again. Her reflection stood there, but its face was wrong. The smile was wider. The eyes were darker. The shoulders were angled forward as if the body was folding in on itself. It wasn't copying her posture. It was leaning closer, pressing its face against the glass. She whispered, "Stop." But the reflection tilted its head, like a curious animal. Then it opened its mouth and began moving its lips, trying to form a sound. The narrator explains this part slowly. The creature was trying to learn her voice. Lena covered her ears, shaking her head. "Don't," she whispered. "Don't talk." The reflection's lips twisted into a sloppy shape of a smile and mouthed the word anyway. "Lena." It didn't sound right, only the shape of it. Like a mimic that didn't have a voice yet. The fog on the inside of the mirror shook with its breath, and Lena felt her whole body turn cold. She backed away until her legs hit the bed. Suddenly the closet door rattled. Not a little. Hard. Fast. Something was pushing from the inside. Tap, 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 tap. The handle twitched. Lena screamed, grabbed her backpack and ran into the hallway. But the hallway wasn't safe either. Because the big wall mirror, the one she covered earlier, now had handprints all over it, as if someone had been pushing their palms from the other side all night. Small hands. Medium hands. Large, stretched hands with long fingers. Some handprints were too high to be human. Some were turned sideways. One was upside down. Lena stared at them in horror. And then something even worse happened. Her reflection stepped closer on its own. She wasn't moving. Her feet were planted. Her arms were stiff by her sides. But in the mirror, she took a slow step forward. Her reflection stood right in front of the glass. Breathing. Fogging the surface with excited, shaky breaths. Then it opened its mouth again. This time, the whisper came out, faint, glitchy, as if something was tearing its throat inside the mirror. "Linnea." The voice sounded like a broken version of her own voice, like it was learning her pitch, trying to match it. She covered her ears. "Stop copying me." But the reflection didn't stop. It whispered again. Copy what? Me." Her own words. Thrown back at her with a broken echo. Then the reflection lifted its hand. And for the first time, the hand pushed so hard that the mirror bulged outward just a little. As if the glass was stretching like skin. Lena gasped and ran downstairs. Her mother followed her, confused and frightened. But Lena couldn't explain it. How do you tell someone your reflection wants to be you? The narrator ends part 2 with a chilling line. That night, Lena slept with the lights on. But in the mirrors of the house, her reflection did not sleep. It practiced her smile. It practiced her voice. And soon, it would be ready. The house grew colder after that day. Not normal cold, but the kind that made Lena's bones ache. The kind that felt like someone was gently blowing icy air on the back of her neck, even when nobody was behind her. The mirrors seemed to pulse with their own breath, fogging and clearing like lungs filling and emptying. The narrator explains that by now Lena avoided mirrors entirely, but mirrors didn't avoid her. They waited for her. That evening, her mother sent her upstairs to get towels from the hallway closet. Lena hesitated. The hallway mirror was directly across from it. But she forced herself to go, keeping her eyes on the floor, refusing to look up. She grabbed the towels quickly, turned around, and thump. The mirror thumped from the inside. Lena froze. The towels slipped from her hands. Another thump. Harder this time. Then she heard footsteps inside the glass. Slow. Dragging. As if something barefoot was walking toward the front of the mirror from a far distance. One step. Pause. Another step. Pause. Then a fast, heavy step, like something had lunged forward. Lena screamed and ran back downstairs. For the rest of the night, she tried to stay close to her mother, even sitting in the living room while her mother watched TV. But even there, reflections found her. The TV screen, when it went dark during commercials, showed the room behind her. And in one black reflection, Lena saw a shape behind her couch. Something tall. Something bent. Something staring directly at her. But when she turned around, nothing was there. Later that night, when she finally went to her room, she kept the curtains open to avoid seeing her reflection in the window. She sat at her desk trying to do homework, her mind heavy with fear. The narrator explains that Lena moved slowly, her hands trembling, her breath unsteady. She reached for her pencil. Her arm moved. But in the blank computer screen reflection across the room, her arm didn't move yet. Her reflection stayed still. Frozen. Face blank. Eyes staring straight at her. 3 seconds passed. Then the reflection copied her movement, but too late. Delayed. Like something studying her motions, learning them one after the other. Then she adjusted her chair. The reflection adjusted its chair 2 seconds later. Then smiled. Lena felt ice in her stomach. Her reflection didn't smile in part 2. But it had learned. She turned the screen off completely, but that didn't help. Because the closet mirror began to fog. Slowly at first. Then faster. Fog swirling like breath hitting the glass from inside. And then footsteps again. Soft at first. Growing louder. Closer. The reflection appeared, but it didn't appear right in front of the glass. No. It appeared far, deep inside the mirror, like Lena was looking through a long tunnel. The creature inside was walking forward. Each step echoing like a heartbeat. Thump, thump, thump. The closer it came, the less it looked like her. Its neck was a little too long. Its shoulders were uneven. Its fingers dragged along the corridor walls of the reflection world. When it reached the front of the glass, it placed both hands onto the inside of the mirror and exhaled sharply. Fog exploded out across the surface. Lena stumbled back. Her pulse hammered. Then the creature began mimicking her again. She trembled. It trembled. She took a step backward. It took a step forward. She breathed fast. It breathed faster. Then, the creature pressed its forehead to the glass and whispered with its broken, learning voice. Lena, open. Lena shook her head violently. The creature copied the shake, but too late again, its hair sliding across its face like wet seaweed. Then it lifted its left hand, and Lena noticed something horrifying. Its fingers tapped the glass exactly like knocking. Tap, 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 tap. But Lena had not moved. The creature wasn't copying anymore. It was acting on its own. The narrator explains that at this point, the creature's movements became even stranger. Lena lifted her hand to cover her mouth. The reflection didn't. It dragged its hand down its face instead, leaving streaks of fog. Lena took 2 steps back. The reflection slammed its palms against the glass hard enough to make the entire mirror shake. The sound was so loud it echoed through the whole room. Lena covered her ears and ran out. Downstairs, her mother was washing dishes. She turned, startled. Lena? What happened? Lena's words tangled in her throat. Mom, the mirrors, something. But the kitchen window behind her mother suddenly fogged over. From the inside, a child-sized handprint pressed against the glass, slowly sliding downward. Lena grabbed her mother's arm, but her mother didn't see it. Sweetie, it's just condensation. Sit down. But Lena wasn't imagining it. And the next moment proved it. Behind the fog, a distorted shadow leaned forward. Something with her shape. Something with her hair. But it wasn't her reflection. Lena wasn't standing there. The shadow lifted its hand, fingers stretched long like branches. Then it tapped the kitchen glass. Twice. Soft. Polite. As if asking to be let inside. The narrator ends part 3. Lena didn't know how the creature moved between mirrors. But she now understood something much worse. It wasn't trying to copy her anymore. It was practicing how to replace her. The house didn't feel like a house anymore. It felt like a throat. Narrow. Tight. Breathing around Lena with every step she took. Every mirror she passed carried a weight, a pressure, as if something inside them was pushing its entire body against the glass. That night, Lena pretended to sleep. She kept her eyes half open, her back turned to the closet mirror. The room was silent, but the silence wasn't real. Beneath it, she could hear something faint, like fabric sliding, like skin brushing against glass. Then the mirror bulged. Not much, just an inch. But enough. The surface pushed outward as if someone pressed their forehead against thin ice. The glass stretched. Bet. Shivered. Lena felt her breath leave her body. She didn't move. Didn't blink. A second bulge pushed out, this time shaped like a hand. Long fingers. Sharp nails scraping lightly, trying to get purchase. The mirror pulsed like skin. Like something was punching it from the inside. Lena backed up slowly. A soft crackling noise filled the room, the sound of stressed glass. Then the handprint on the mirror curled inward, making a fist. The narrator explains that the creature was close, too close, closer than ever before. Before it could punch through, Lena grabbed her phone, turned on the flashlight and pointed it at the mirror. The creature inside jerked back violently, the fog swirling in panic. The bulges flattened. The glass smoothed. Silence returned. Lena didn't know why the light scared it. She only knew it bought her a few seconds of safety. She rushed out of the room and ran downstairs, desperate to be near her mother. Her mother was sitting on the couch, drinking tea, watching a cooking show. Everything seemed normal, until Lena saw the reflection in the switched-off TV screen. Her mother was sitting alone. But in the TV reflection, someone stood behind her mother. A girl, with long hair, a tilted head, a smile that didn't belong to any living thing. Lena's stomach twisted. "Mom," she whispered, "don't move." Her mother laughed softly. "Sweetheart, you're scaring me again. Sit." But before she could finish, the reflection behind her mother moved. Slow. Glitchy. Like a puppet being lifted by invisible strings. It lifted its hand. Reached toward her mother's shoulder. Lena lunged forward and turned the TV off completely. The reflection vanished instantly. Her mother didn't understand. "Honey, what is going on?" But Lena was staring past her mother, at the hallway wall. A shadow crawled across it. Not walked. Crawled. It moved like it was pulling itself along the surface. Its arms too long. Its legs bending the wrong way. Its head dragging behind. The shadow wasn't hers. And it wasn't her mother's. It was something else. As the shadow crept toward the bathroom door, the bathroom mirror fogged over. From the inside, words appeared on the fogged surface, written backward from behind the glass. "What? Me?" Lena screamed and grabbed her mother's hand. "Please? Mom, please believe me." Before her mother could argue, the hallway mirror thumped, hard, loud enough to shake the wall. Something slammed against the inside of the glass again. Thump, thump, thump. Her mother froze, finally hearing it too. What was that?" she whispered. Lena's eyes filled with tears. "It's been trying to get out." More fog spread across the mirror. The outline of a face formed in it, but the face wasn't still. It was moving. Mouth opening. Smiling. Teeth scraping across the other side of the glass. The narrator explains that Lena grabbed her mother and dragged her toward the kitchen, away from the hallway mirrors. She needed space. She needed safety. But the kitchen wasn't safe either. Because the small decorative mirror above the sink began to breathe. Fog. Clear. Fog. Clear. Like lungs struggling for air. Her mother whispered shakily, "Mirrors don't do that. Mirrors don't." Before she could finish, the glass inhaled so sharply that it sucked the loose paper towels against the surface. Something inside the mirror whispered, "Almost." Lena covered her ears. "Stop. Stop it. Why are you doing this?" But the voice only laughed, a broken, delayed version of Lena's own voice. Then she noticed something on the floor. Glass dust. Tiny flakes, shimmering like snow. She followed the trail with her eyes, and saw it came from the bathroom mirror. A crack had formed. Not a big one. But a crack is a beginning. Her mother grabbed her shoulders. "Lena, tell me what this is. Tell me what's happening." Lena looked straight into her mother's shaking eyes. "They're not mirrors," she whispered. "They're doors." Her mother blinked. "What? Doors?" Lena repeated. "Every mirror. Every one in this house. They're connected to, I don't know, another world. A shadow world. And the thing inside them looks like me, but it isn't me. It wants out." Her mother's face drained of color. "And it wants to switch places," Lena finished in a trembling voice. Stairs giving a long, painful creak, bending outward like thin plastic ready to tear. The creature wasn't waiting anymore. It was coming. Night fell early, swallowing the house in a thick darkness that felt heavier than any night before. Lena stayed close to her mother, refusing to go upstairs. She felt the creature's presence everywhere, like the air itself was watching her. The narrator explains that this was the night everything broke loose. It began with a soft tick, 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 coming from the walls. Not the mirrors, not the floor. Inside the walls. Lena stiffened. Her mother paused mid-step. The sound grew louder. Tick, scrape, drag. Like bare feet sliding along drywall. Like someone feeling their way through the inside of the house. Her mother whispered, "Mice?" But Lena shook her head hard. "That's not mice." On the other side of the kitchen wall, something pressed outward. A faint bulge like a body pushing against wallpaper. The outline of a hand formed beneath the paint. Fingers. Long, too long. Then the hand slid upward as if the creature were climbing inside the wall. Lena pulled her mother back. "It's moving. It's trying to find a way out." Suddenly, every mirror in the house fogged over at once. Like all of them inhaled together. The sound echoed through the house, a long, slow exhale. Then the mirrors warped. Glass bent and stretched as if soft, melting, pulsing, almost breathing. The hallway mirror drooped at the edges like warm wax. The bathroom mirror swelled forward like something inside was inflating it. Her mother whispered, terrified, "Glass doesn't do that." Lena already knew. It's not glass. Not anymore. The creature was pushing against every mirror at once. The thumping began next. First from upstairs. Then directly behind them. Then under their feet. The house shook with uneven footsteps, not from someone walking normally, but from something dragging itself forward with wrong-shaped limbs. Thump, thump, scrape. Lena grabbed her mother's hand. "We have to get out. Now." They ran toward the front door, but as Lena reached for the handle, the door mirror fogged over. There was no mirror on the door. But now, there was. A full-length reflection spread across the door's surface, forming like water rising behind a window. And inside the reflection was Lena's face. But not her real face. A longer jaw. Sunken eyes that stretched too wide. Teeth showing between lips that shook with excitement. A face that looked half human, half shadow, as if someone had drawn her from memory and gotten every detail slightly wrong. The creature leaned close to the inside of the reflective surface, fogging it with deep, heavy breaths. The fog swirled into shapes, runes, symbols, something old and wrong. Then for the first time, Lena saw its real face behind the reflection. Not the copy. Not the mimic. The real creature hiding beneath the skin of her reflection. It was farther back in the mirror world, behind the fake Lena face, like someone hiding behind a mask. Thin. Gray. Its body bent at the ribs like it had been folded too many times. Its mouth stretched ear to ear, not smiling but straining open as if held by invisible hooks. Its eyes were black pits, wet and moving. Its hands shook with anticipation. It wasn't pretending anymore. It wanted out. Her mother gasped and fell back against the wall. Dear God. The creature slammed its hand against the mirror door so hard the entire house jolted. Thump. A crack spiraled across the reflective surface. Not a small one. A long one. Lena screamed and pulled her mother away. It's breaking through, run. They ran toward the living room, but the mirrors weren't done. The TV reflection flickered on even though the power was off. The black screen swirled with fog, showing the hallway behind them, empty at first, then slowly filling with a crawling shadow. The small wall mirror flared with white light, like someone was shining a flashlight from the other side. The glass bowl on the counter reflected a face that wasn't there. The windows, all of them, fogged from the inside at once, showing faint silhouettes staring in. The house wasn't trapping the creature. The house was helping it. The walls creaked as if expanding. Pipes groaned deep beneath the floors. Doors unlocked by themselves, clicking open one by one. The house wanted a switch. It wanted the wrong Lena to enter the world outside. Lena felt the truth hit her all at once. The mirrors weren't possessed. The house was. And the house was opening every door it could to let the creature free. A shattering explosion echoed upstairs. The bathroom mirror. It had cracked open completely. A howl rushed through the house, not loud but cold. Sure. Like ice dragging across metal. Lena grabbed her mother, forcing her toward the back entrance. The back door, hurry? They ran, but as they passed the hallway, Lena saw something she would never forget. Her reflection stepping out of the largest mirror. Not fully, not yet. But its arm had pushed through the glass, stretching the mirror like thin rubber. Its hand was gray, skeletal, wet. The fingers were too long, bending inward like claws. Its nails screeched along the wooden floor as it tried to pull the rest of its body through. Its head pushed forward next, half of its face slipping into Lena's world. The skin dangled like it was melting. A smile carved across it. Its real voice came out for the first time, deep, layered, broken. Lenonea. Switch. Lena dragged her mother through the back doorway. Behind them, mirrors shattered one by one like gunshots. The creature was coming. The house was helping it. And Lena had nowhere left to run. The back door slammed open, and Lena pulled her mother into the cold night. The wind felt sharp, almost metallic, slicing through her breath. For a moment, Lena thought they were safe. The open yard stretched behind the house, leading toward the dark tree line. There were no mirrors out here. No shiny glass. No reflections. But the narrator explains the truth. You don't need a mirror to see a reflection. Any surface can hold one. And the creature knew that. Lena and her mother sprinted toward the car parked in the gravel driveway. The porch lights flickered violently, then blew out in a burst of sparks, leaving the yard soaked in darkness. Her mother fumbled for the car keys, her hands shaking too hard to aim the remote. Hurry, Lena begged. Please? Then Lena saw it. A puddle near the driveway, a small shallow pool from the earlier rain, rippled even though no wind touched it. Her reflection appeared on its surface. Not her real reflection. The creature's version. Gray. Smiling. Dragging itself closer. The puddle began to bubble as a hand pressed upward from beneath the water's surface, stretching the reflection like thin skin. Lena screamed, pulling her mother away from it. Before they reached the car, the side window fogged from the inside. A handprint smeared across it. Then another. Then a face pressed so hard the glass bent outward. Her mother froze in terror. What is that? What is? Lena grabbed her wrist. Don't look at it. Don't look in the windows. But her mother already had. And she saw Lena in the reflection. Only Lena was standing behind her, smiling with a twisted jaw and black, wet eyes. Her mother dropped the keys. The air shifted. The ground vibrated. A scraping sound dragged across the yard, long, slow strokes, like something pulling itself forward on elbows. The creature was leaving the house. Lena turned toward the back porch and saw it step out of the shattered hallway mirror, the glass clinging to its body like thin spiderwebs. It wasn't wearing her reflection anymore. It was showing its real shape. Tall, thin, bent like broken branches. Its ribs pushed against its skin. Its mouth split too wide. Its limbs moved like something unused to gravity. But its eyes were searching only for her. Mom, run! Lena shouted. They sprinted across the yard toward the woods. But the creature didn't chase them on the ground, it slid into the nearest reflective surface, the metal siding of the shed. Its shape warped across the metal like a shadow beneath ice. It was fast. Too fast. It moved from metal to water to glass to anything that held even a dull shine. Every time Lena looked sideways, she saw it leaping from surface to surface, like it swam through reflections instead of air. The narrator explains that her mother tripped on a root, falling hard. Lena pulled her up as the creature's gray hand burst out of the shed's reflection, its long nails digging into the real world for a second before slipping back inside. They reached the edge of the trees. The woods were darker than night, thick and silent. But there were fewer reflections here, no windows, no mirrors. Just leaves. Just dirt. Just a metal trash can lid lying against a tree. It vibrated. Then bent inward as something slammed against the inside of its reflection. The creature forced half its face through. Not the fake face. Its real one. What? Dripping. Teeth long and crooked. It hissed Lena's name with a broken, layered voice. Pulled her mother deeper into the woods. It doesn't want the world, she cried. It wants me. Her mother didn't understand. Why you? Because Lena realized something then, something she had overlooked. Reflections are personal. Reflections belong to one person. The creature wasn't copying her just to imitate. It was studying her, learning her, becoming her. It didn't want freedom. It wanted her identity, her place, her life. It wanted to step out and walk around as if it had always been her, while the real Lena was trapped inside the mirror world forever. Her mother whispered, "We have to hide." But there was nowhere to hide. The creature could travel through anything that reflected light. The metal button on her mother's coat, the surface of her phone, even her own eyes. Anywhere a reflection existed, the creature could appear. Lena grabbed her mother's phone and threw it into the woods. The screen flashed as it hit a rock, and for a moment she saw the creature's arms stretching out of the cracked glass. The creature crawled partially through, torso first, pulling itself into the real world through a screen no bigger than a hand. Its bones broke and reset as it forced its body out of the impossibly small reflection, skin stretching, cracking, reforming. Lena screamed and ran, her mother right behind her. They reached the old wooden fence at the end of the property. Beyond it was the neighbor's field. The creature reached the fence a moment later, stepping fully into the real world now. Its reflection form flickered behind it like a shadow with liquid movement. It was free enough. It didn't need small reflections anymore. It only needed her. As the creature stood tall at the fence, its smile splitting wider than any human could survive. It lifted one long finger at Lena, then pointed to the spot where her reflection should be. Where she belonged. Where it wanted to put her. The world behind the mirrors was waiting. The creature stood at the fence, its neck crooked, its smile torn wide across its face like something wearing skin the wrong way. Its body twitched with excited energy, jerking like a puppet being pulled by invisible strings. It had followed Lena across the yard, through reflections, through metal, through puddles, and now it wanted the final step. To become her. The narrator explains that Lena felt the coldest fear she had ever known. Not the kind that froze her body, the kind that tightened her soul. Because she finally understood. The creature caught her. If it touched her, if she looked into its reflection again, she would disappear. Forever. Mom, run. Lena yelled, pushing her mother toward the open field. Her mother stumbled forward, terrified but trusting her. Lena held her ground for a moment, watching the creature crawl over the fence. Its limbs bent the wrong way, joints cracking loudly as it folded itself forward. Its voice came out in layers. One whisper low, one whisper high, one whisper broken. Nah. Switch. Lena backed away slowly. Her heartbeat thudded in her ears. That's when she heard it. A faint sound. A soft vibration. A high, sharp hum. The creature flinched. Its body jerked backward as if something stabbed its ears. Its long fingers clawed at its skull, scraping hard. Lena froze, listening carefully. The sound was coming from the field. Her mother's phone, the one she had thrown earlier, was still glowing faintly. The cracked screen flickered with white light. And the creature hated it. The narrator explains the discovery. Light. Not normal light. Broken, scattered light. Light that distorts reflections. The creature couldn't travel through that. Couldn't hide in it. Couldn't control it. Lena's mind raced. Flashlight scared it in part 4. The phone's broken light scared it now. Anything that disturbed reflections weakened it. Because reflections were the creature's doorway. Its home. Its hunting ground. If she ruined the surface the creature used, she ruined its power. Mom? Lena shouted. Get to the phone. Her mother didn't understand, but she ran toward the flickering light anyway. The creature lunged after her. Lena screamed and grabbed a stick from the ground, swinging it toward the creature's face. The stick hit its cheek, or where a cheek should have been, and the creature's jaw twisted sharply, but it didn't fall. It turned back to Lena slowly, its head swiveling around like it wasn't attached correctly. Then it charged. Lena sprinted through the field, dodging bushes and roots, her lungs burning, her hair whipping behind her. The creature moved fast but uneven, its body glitching in and out of the shadows. Sometimes it was crawling. Sometimes running. Sometimes sliding across the grass like it weighed nothing. She reached the glowing phone just as her mother picked it up. Her mother held it high, the cracked screen flickering white like a strobe. The creature shrieked, a horrible layered cry, as the broken light hit its face. Its reflection self flickered violently behind it, the mirror world image distorting like melting plastic. Lena realized she had found its weakness. Distorted reflections. Broken light. Disrupted surfaces. Anything that ruined its perfect copy. She grabbed the phone from her mother and pointed it toward the creature, walking slowly forward as it crawled backward, shielding its face with long, shaking fingers. But then it changed. It straightened. Stood tall. Tilted its head. And the twisted smile returned. It whispered, "Not light. Switch." Before Lena understood what it meant, the creature lunged straight toward the phone. It didn't avoid the light this time, it dived into it. The phone flickered once, twice, then turned into a reflection. Lena gasped. It had turned the phone screen into a mirror again. Now she was staring at herself. Except this reflection wasn't just a reflection. It moved on its own. It reached out with her hand. Her fingers. Her face. It smiled with her smile, perfect and wrong at the same time. Behind that reflection, deep inside the smaller mirror world, the true creature waited, crouched and ready. The reflection whispered in her voice. "Come inside. My turn." "Your turn?" Lena felt something pulling her. Not physically, something tugging at her mind, her sight, her presence. Like her soul was being vacuumed into the screen. Her feet slid forward. Her fingers trembled toward the reflection. The world around her darkened. She wasn't moving on her own anymore. The creature was pulling her in. Her mother screamed her name, grabbing her arm, but even her mother's pull wasn't strong enough. The surface of the phone stretched like liquid glass. It bubbled outward. A long gray hand pushed through and wrapped around Lena's wrist. Cold, wet, strong. The mirror world grabbed her. It began pulling her in. Lena screamed, kicking the ground, but her legs slipped into the reflection. Her foot, gone. Her ankle, swallowed. The world inside the mirror felt endless, dark, freezing. The creature whispered from behind the reflection. Switch, Lena. Switch. Her mother cried, pulling with all her strength, but the creature was stronger. Lena felt her body sliding into the mirror world inch by inch. Her knee vanished. Her calf disappeared. Pain shot through her leg like ice needles. She was going to lose. She was going to vanish. She was going to be replaced. Then Lena saw something in the grass, something small and sharp. Her mother's broken glasses. One lens cracked. One lens shattered. One lens reflecting everything the wrong way. Lena grabbed the glasses with her free hand and slammed the cracked lens against the phone screen. Light burst. The reflection shattered. The mirror world snapped. The creature screamed so loudly the sky seemed to shake. The phone screen exploded in a flash of white. The gray hand released her wrist. And Lena fell backward into her mother's arms, gasping, crying, shaking. Her leg was free. Her mind was free. But the creature wasn't gone. Not yet. The narrator ends part 7 with a chilling truth. Lena had broken the reflection this time. But there were many more reflections waiting. Mirrors, windows, water, metal. The creature still wanted her life. And it wouldn't stop. Lena didn't feel her legs at first. She didn't feel the cold wind or the grass beneath her. She only felt the deep, horrible emptiness inside her chest. The place where the mirror world had begun pulling her. A place that still felt open, vulnerable, unfinished. Her mother held her tightly, whispering over and over, "You're here. You're here. I've got you." But the narrator explains the truth. The creature wasn't gone. It was furious. A sound rose from the house, a low, vibrating groan like wood crying out in pain. The windows trembled. The walls expanded. And every reflective surface inside the house lit up at once. Not with light, with movement. The reflections twisted, stretched, and swirled like portals opening all at once. The house was no longer a home. It was a doorway. A collection of reflective mouths, hungry and wide, all calling Lena's name. She stood to her feet, shaky but determined. "We have to destroy everything that reflects," she said. "All of it." Her mother stared at her like she'd lost her mind. "We can't go back in there." "We have to," Lena whispered. "If even one mirror stays, it can come back." A deep thud echoed from inside the house. Then a second. Then a third. The creature was moving between the reflections, warping from surface to surface, banging on the glass like an animal trying to claw its way through different exits. So they went back. The front door opened by itself before they reached it, not inviting them in but pulling them in, like the house couldn't wait to finish what it started. The inside had changed. Every mirror glowed with a pale, sickly light. Fog dripped down their surfaces like cold sweat. The hallway mirror bulged outward, a face pressing from behind it, Lena's face but not quite. The cheekbones were too sharp. The smile too tight. The eyes hollow and waiting. Lena tightened her grip on her mother's hand. "Don't look at it." They entered the living room first. The TV screen flickered with white static. Behind the static, Lena could see herself staring back, but the reflection's mouth moved even when hers didn't. Her mother whispered, "What do we do?" Lena grabbed a fireplace poker and swung. The TV shattered with a scream, a layered, broken scream, and the reflection inside twisted violently as the surface dissolved. The house roared. The mirrors hated it. The creature hated it. They moved to the hallway. The large wall mirror was pulsing like a heartbeat, glass stretching forward with each thump. As they approached, a hand burst through the surface, not fully formed, bones long and skin wet like it had been underwater for years. The hand reached for Lena. She swung hard. Glass rained down like sharp rain. The hand evaporated into smoke. The portal closed. They ran upstairs. Each mirror exploded with violent force behind them as they destroyed them one by one. The closet mirror shattered into dust. The bathroom mirror cracked like a spider web. The decorative mirror in the hallway screamed like wind blowing through a tunnel. Every broken reflection weakened the creature. The narrator explains. The creature's voice grew softer, weaker, thinner, as its doorways disappeared. But the house fought back. Doors slammed shut. Walls bulged with moving shadows. Fog poured from the vents like cold breath. And then they reached the final mirror. The bedroom closet. The very first one. The one that smiled before Lena did. It wasn't fogged anymore. It was clear. Too clear. A perfect, polished window to the mirror world behind it. And inside, the creature stood waiting, no longer hiding behind Lena's form. Its true face was sunken and stretched. Its limbs bent like ropes soaked in water. Its skin looked like it had been peeled and reattached incorrectly. But its eyes were Lena's. Stolen. Copied. Perfect. It reached out from behind the glass. Her mother raised a lamp to smash it. But the creature moved so fast it slammed both hands against the inside of the mirror, cracking it with one blow. If the mirror broke before they smashed it, Lena would be sucked in. The room tilted. Wind rushed inward as if the mirror were inhaling. Her hair flew backward. The floor bent toward the mirror like gravity had reversed. The creature pushed halfway through, its face sliding into Lena's world, its mouth opening wide as it rasped. Switch. Its hand wrapped around Lena's arm again. This time stronger. This time determined. This time angry. Lena screamed, her feet dragging across the wooden floor as she was pulled toward the collapsing mirror. Her mother grabbed her waist, pulling back with every muscle in her body. The creature's grip tightened. Its mouth opened wider. Its reflection self behind it clawed forward, trying to anchor itself on both sides of the glass. Lena reached desperately for anything she could use. Her hand closed around a small object on the dresser. Her makeup compact mirror. A reflection. A perfect reflection. She flipped it open and shoved it toward the creature's face. The creature looked straight into it, and for the first time, it saw itself. Not Lena. Not a copy. Not a doorway. It saw its own real face. The creature shrieked, a horrible layered sound that shattered every remaining crack in the mirror doorway. Light burst outward. The compact mirror exploded into dust. The creature's grip loosened. The closet mirror imploded inward, pulling the creature back into its world like a vacuum. Lena flew backward into her mother's arms as the entire mirror collapsed into itself, folding like a swallowed sheet of glass. A final scream echoed, faded, and died. Lena and her mother ran outside as the house groaned and sagged, its reflective portals collapsing one by one. The sky above them turned from black to deep purple, then to soft gold. The first touch of sunrise hit the windows, and every remaining reflection inside the house turned black, cracked, and died. The creature's world had no sun. It couldn't survive the real one. The narrator ends the story. Lena stood in the first light of morning, breath unsteady, heart fragile, but alive. Behind her, the house full of mirrors finally fell silent. And in the distance, the sunrise reflected across the world, strong enough to kill any shadow still trying to escape. Lena was safe. For now. But she never looked into a mirror the same way again.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Leave us a comment for more stories like this. Your support means the world. Stay tuned for more videos.